And are we just adding the elements to the top, or are we reinitializing the top element?
We are appending the empty list, right, of the top.
No. Actually, this top is a list in which we are just reinitializing. That's it. Okay, initially
Okay.
it is empty and we are reinitializing each and every time. We are not adding it to the list. Okay, so it contains only two elements. One is the sequence number and the other is the max value. So let's say, let's start from this step. Initially max is 0. So the top is also an empty one. Now we'll start to take the elements from this. Let's say the first element is 240. So what will happen now? The sequence number is 1 and 240. This will be stored in the top. And how about max? Max contains 240 as the value. And let's say next time taking 232. Now will the top get updated?
No, don't get
Yeah,
approved.
it will not get updated. Let's say next time getting 290. Now,
Yeah, it will get approved.
yes, so top is equal to, so this is the card number 2 and this is card number 3. So 3, 290. So are we adding to it or we are reinitializing?
Now we are just reinitializing the value.
Yeah, exactly. We're just trying to reinitialize the values into it. Okay, so and then we are moving the x to the table 2. So all the elements will be iterated and it will be moved to the table 2. At last, they are taking all the elements from table 2 to table 1 once this loop is over after this. And then we have to return the top. So top holds 3 and 290. So this is the end of the procedure as well. Now they have said what at the end, what is the like what will be the answer? It's a multiple select question. Okay. So the first option is topper is a list of two elements. Does it contain two elements or multiple elements? How many elements are there in this list?
2.
Yeah, so it's a list of two elements. So every time when I'm reinitializing top also, it is with two elements. Okay, so this can be the correct answer. Next is first of topper. So what is meant by first of and what is last of?
First of topper is the first element in the list, and the last of topper is the last element of in the list.
Yes, exactly. So first of topper represents the sequence number
Sequence.
of one of the students who have scored the total highest total marks. Is this true or
Yeah, correct.
exactly? It's one of the number of one of the students who has scored the highest mark. And next is first topper is the list of sequence of number of the students who have scored the highest total marks. If I'm taking first off, only the first sequence number is taken, right? It's not about all the number of students. So here, this cannot be the answer. Okay. And the next is last of topper is the highest total mark from the table 1. Is it true or not?
True, true.
Exactly. This is the last of and this is the first of. So this holds the sequence number and this is of the total marks. Okay, so this is also the correct one. So these three can be the correct options. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So options can okay. So the next question is consider the procedure find top of mentioned in the question one. So we have to take this procedure from here, the find top of procedure, and we are executing using the scores data set. So next is remove row of table comma z. So which deletes the row of table with the sequence number z. Let's say if I'm taking some row element that gets deleted from that that row gets deleted. So at last they're asking what the marks list represent at the end of the execution. So generally if I use top, find top of what it will return at first.
It will return a list which has the sequence number of the student who has scored the highest mark.
Exactly. This find top of method gives the value, which is like sequence number and maximum total of the person who has scored the total highest mark. Okay, so here we'll get that. After that, what are they doing? They're just removing that from the table one. From the table, removing the topper. Okay, and what this line means, marks list is equal to marks list plus of topper. Is what are they trying to do?
It is adding that list to another list, empty list.
Yes, exactly. So in an empty list, I'm just adding the topper element at that, like, let's say I'm taking the table one, what are the element is there, and then we are adding it to the mark list. Again, what are we doing? We are just taking all the elements from the table one and finding the top element, removing that. So remove that from the table in the sense of who is the first top element? 290. This gets removed. Now, which is the next top element?
1 to 40.
Yes. So 240 is the next element that gets added in the marks list and that gets removed as well. Then which is the next top element?
232, second sequence.
Yeah. So the second sequence and then 232. This gets updated, this gets removed as well as gets updated in the marks list. So now the marks list will be like 3, 290 and then it contains 1 240 and it contains 232.
It will give a list within list, right? Correct.
Yes, it's a list within a list. So which of the options can be correct? So list of sequence numbers in the ascending order based on the total marks or descending order based on the total marks or a pair of sequence numbers and total marks in descending order or sequence number and the total marks in ascending order. Actually, what is the output we are getting here? Are we getting only the sequence number or the pair of sequence number and total marks?
Based on sequence, ma'am, we cannot comment. Like we can comment on based on marks, total marks. Total marks is in descending order.
Yes, actually we get a pair of values, right? One is the sequence number
Yes.
and the other is the total marks. So by this way, we can just eliminate the first two options because it's not only the sequence number, it gives a pair of sequence number and the total marks. So
Correct.
that can be either C or option D. So next they have mentioned is either it is in ascending order or descending order to be checked. So the marks are in like 240. 290, 240 and 232, which means is it in ascending or descending order?
Descending order.
Exactly, it is in the descending order because it clearly states that the top mark, find top of procedure gives only the mark, the person who has scored the highest mark. Then that gets removed in the sense of we are trying to take the second highest mark. After removing that, we'll get the third highest mark. So by this way, we are trying to get only the descending order elements. Is this clear, people?
Yes, ma'am.
And people, do you have any doubt in the questions that we have discussed so far?
No, ma'am, it is clear.
And here is the next question. Consider the marks list created in the question 7, which means we have to consider this. And what will top list represent at the end of the execution of the given statement? So here, mark list, what the mark list actually holds?
List of list which contains of sequence and total marks in descending order.
Yes, here we are getting the elements which is in the, like, it's a pair of sequence number and the total marks, right?
Correct.
And they are taking the marks list first. First of marks list is
3, first element in the list.
yeah, this is taken. So then that is and then in which is we have to take the last of this answer, which means 290. So
290.
in the max they are storing the 290. Then they are going through all the elements in the mark list and they are checking last of pair, which means
Last element.
240. Yeah. Exactly. So in each path, we are taking the last element, which is nothing but the total marks. So if the 290 is not equal to 240, what they are doing here?
Next question.
Yes, max gets updated with
Last pair.
240. Okay. So before that, let's say, what is the first max value? 290. They are taking
290.
all the elements from the max list, which means what is the first element?
3 comma 290.
Yes, 3 comma 290 is the first element. So what they are trying to do is, first let me write all the values here. Okay, so here they will check whether the last of pair, which means whether this 290 is not equal to max. Is it so?
Okay.
Is it so? No. So the condition is failed, right? So the if condition will not work. So what is the counter value so far?
1.
Yes, so far the count value is 1. So it will check whether 1 is less than 4.
Yeah, true.
Condition is true. So in the top list, the first of pair. What is first of pair?
This 3 comma 290.
Yes. No. 3 is the first element, right? Because in a pair, we are taking the elements.
Okay, okay. This pair is the element of this list, top list.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So the 3 is the value. So that gets added in the top list. Now the top list contains the first element is 3. Okay. So next, we have to take, after this, there is no more steps to be executed. So what it will do, it will go ahead with the loop checking. That is, it has to take the second condition. I mean, like second element. So last of pair. What is last of pair?
240.
Yes, 240. So what is the max so far?
Well, last of pair, ma'am. Again, we will check with the 232. Is it?
No. The last of pair means like this is the pair which we are taking now, 1 comma 240, in which
Okay.
we have to take the last value, which means it's
240.
nothing but 240. So what is the max value?
We have taken 290.
Yes. So we have to check whether 240 is not equal to 290. Is the condition is true?
Yeah, it is true.
So if condition, like if block will work. So we have to update the max with last of pair, which means the max is updated with the value 240.
240. Okay.
Then counter is incremented to
2.
So now it will check. What is the counter value now? 2. Is 2
2.
is less than 4?
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Condition is true. So it has to take first of pair. What is first of pair?
1.
Exactly. So that need to be get added inside the list. Now the list contains 3 comma 1. And then it will take the next set of elements, that is 2 comma 232. So now it will check. What is the last of pair value?
232.
232.
Exactly. It has to be what is the max value?
240.
Yes, so we have to check whether 232 is not equal to 240. Is the condition is true or not?
Yeah, true.
True.
Which means we have to update the max with the last pair, that is nothing but 232.
232.
Yeah, and counter has to be incremented to
3.
exactly. Then we have to check with the condition whether 3 is less than 4.
Yeah, true.
Yes, true.
The condition is true, so I have to take that sequence number, that is 2 has to be taken. Okay, let's say there is one more number with 0 with 219 is the value. So now what will happen?
Again, we will check if last of pair 219 is the equal to is
Not equal to
max or not.
232.
Yes.
No,
So the
219, ma'am.
219.
yeah,
Not equal to.
219 has to be taken as last of pair and max is 232, not equal. So max has to be assigned with 219.
219.
219.
What is the next step?
Count will be the
Count.
4,
Okay.
Correct.
which is not less than 4.
Correct.
Mm.
This is false condition.
This condition is
If-
false.
So will the okay. So after this, will this block will get, I mean, like, will that block
No,
will
no,
execute?
no, it will
No,
not.
no.
No. After this, there may be some elements, there can be many elements, but
Hmm.
whether this top list gets updated or not?
No, it will not get updated.
Exactly. So how many elements this top list contain?
3.
3.
3 elements. So we have to check what is the correct option then. So which can be the correct answer then? List of sequence of students whose total mark is the top 3, or the number of 3 students whose total mark is in the top 3, or else like pairs of sequence and like sequence number and the total number, or top 4 or top 3. Which can be the correct answer?
First, ma'am, a list of sequence of number whose the student total score is in top 3.
List of why so?
Because
Because ma'am,
this,
first total marks will be arranging in a descending order.
Hmm.
So we have a put sequence.
Okay.
sequence is not, sequence can be in any order, but based, we are just taking the sequence of the top 3 students who has scored top 3 marks.
Exactly.
Sequence,
So there can be any number of students. There can be 10 or 12 or whatever the number of students can be. Here we are trying to take only the top 3 students mark and only their sequence number. I'm not taking like a pair of sequence number and total marks. There is nothing like that. I'm straight away taking only the sequence numbers. So pair cannot be the answers. So these 2 options can be eliminated. And it is like number of 3 students, or we are taking from all these students?
from all the students we are taking 3.
Yeah, we are not just taking only the 3 students. We are taking from all the students. So the number of students whose total mark is in the top total 3. So this can be the answer. Okay. And here comes the next question, people.
Ma'am, in the above question, in the question number 8, suppose there is 2 students who got same marks, say 240 marks. So we can have more than 3 elements, right? In the list.
No. Let's say if they have got equal marks, which means still the count will be the same 3, right? Let's say one more person has scored 240. So what would we do? 240 is not equal to 240. If this condition is true,
No, it is false.
so anyway, we'll get only 3 elements.
Okay.
So that's why I said number of students who has scored total marks is in the top total 3 scores.
Okay.
So here is the next question. We have the pseudocode, like we have to execute the pseudocode and scores of data set. So 2 students are called similar if the difference in the max mark is at most 10. What is mean by at most?
At max, the difference can be 10, not more than that.
Yes, maximum difference is 10. It should not be more than that, which means the minimum can be like 0 or 1, 2, etc. till 10. Okay, and they have mentioned that apps of C returns the absolute value, which means if I give a negative value also, it will give only the positive value here. Okay, so here they are taking the set of elements that they have created as list named triple list, and we are taking the elements from the table. We are reading the first row, and then we have to move that element to the table too. So now we have taken one element, right? Let's say I have taken the markers 90. That is the first student's mark. So now this is moved to table 2. So what are all the remaining elements? So leaving the first element, the remaining, let's say there are only 10 cards. So the remaining 9 cards are taken. So let's say the next student mark is 80. So they are taking this card from the table 1 and they're moving it to table 3. Okay, now this is in table 3 and this is in table 1. Now they have to check the absolute difference of max mark of this 90 and 80. So what is the difference?
10.
Yes, they have given less than or equal to 10. Anyway, here the difference is equal to 10. The condition is true. So
True.
what they are doing, yeah. So what they're doing, we have to check with the other element. Let's say the next element is 52. Or let's say the other element is 83, for instance. Now they are taking this element from the table 1. Okay, and they have to check the absolute difference of 90 and 83. So what is the difference of this 90 and 83?
7.
Ma'am, first we will move this 83 card into table 3, then we will compare with 90, right?
No.
That-
This 83 is not moved anywhere so far.
Okay. We are still in the loop, while loop.
Yes. So we have to
Okay.
find the difference between this 90 and 83. What is the difference?
7.
7, which is less than or equal to 10. Condition
10.
satisfied. So
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we have to check one more condition, that is 80 and 83 has to be checked. So what is the difference?
3.
It's 3.
3, because we are using the absolute difference. So 3 is less than or equal to 10. Is the condition is true?
Yeah, true.
Condition is true. So we have to go ahead with this if block. That is triple list is equal to, I have to update it with 90, 80 and 83. So this is inside the triple list now. Then we have to move this to table 4. Now this is moved to table 4. Next, I have to take, so far we have completed this, right? Now I have to go ahead with the next element. But let's say the next element is 72.
Ma'am, this triple list, I think the X dot sequence, what are they storing the sequence, right?
Yes, sequence numbers are stored, not the marks.
Correct. So we'll have to assign the sequence number also to these students who have scored 90, 80, and 83.
That's what we are storing in the triple list. So far, we are taking the X value and its max marks. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So next is, I'm checking with the next element. Let's say the next element is T, 72. So this
Madam,
72
sorry
has,
to interrupt. So that
yes.
X dot sequence number, Y dot sequence number, where it is stored before, here only it's coming, right? So earlier it's not stored any value, right?
Yeah, because scores is a data set. So in the scores data set, what are the elements will be there? The sequence number, that is nothing but the card number, and
Yes.
then they have a name, date of birth, and then the city they belong to, maths mark, chemistry mark, physics mark, and total marks.
Okay.
So out of which I'm taking the max mark and I'm checking it, and then I'm taking their sequence number for storing purpose. So what is the X sequence number like that?
So, okay, here maybe the fourth row X to table 2, then the seventh row Y to table 3, then
Z
the
to table 4.
uh,
At
Z
last,
to
they are
table.
moving all the, at last, after all the tables, after filling all the elements to table 4, they are taking table 4 to table 1. And then they'll move the table 3 to table 1 again. Like
Okay,
that.
so maybe the sequence of first, second cards are they're called as X, Y, Z, like that, right?
Yes. First
Okay,
card
okay.
is X, second card is Y, and third card which I'm taking is Z.
Okay,
The
okay.
third card will keep varying by all the, like I have to go through all the elements in that bucket. Once the table 4 is done, then I'm going ahead with table 3. Like this table 2 elements, I'm keep moving. It's like that.
But the comparison from the table 1, it's read and it's moved to the table 2. And as you earlier said, it is 90.
Yes.
Then the remaining cards in the table 1, then it's then the Y card will be taken from the table 1.
The first,
and,
the
and they move to the table 3, right? So
Yeah.
now the comparison is happening in here, X dot mathematics and Y dot mathematics, which means table 2
Yes.
to table 3 comparison is happening, right? Table 2 to table 3.
Actually, we are not doing exactly like that. I'm moving this to table 2 to avoid confusion because I have taken the first card. I no need to compare the first card with the other elements. That's why I'm moving it to table 2. Similarly, I'm taking the second card, which is moved to the different bucket, which means I don't want to take this 80 again and again. So now the first element and second element are fixed. Then we are keep taking the elements from the third bucket. Like from the table 1, we are taking all the elements, comparing with first, second, third. Now this is done. I have to go ahead with the next element. Then next element like this.
Okay. So
And once this all the elements comparison are over, we are moving this to the like we are taking this out from the table, and then we are taking the next element from this. That is the third element is moved to this table, and we are comparing 1, 3, and all the other elements. It's like that.
okay. Okay.
Is this clear now?
Yes.
Okay. Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what will the triple list represent at the end of the execution? So this triple list holds the sequence numbers, right?
That is what I'm saying, ma'am. This 90, 80, and 83, these are marks. These are not sequence numbers. So you'll have to.
Okay. Actually, I have to store only the sequence numbers
Mm,
like 1,
mm.
2, and 3.
Yeah.
After that, yeah, okay. So after that, I'm just checking. Let's say the next student mark is 89. So now this 1, 2, and 5 is a sequence number. By this way, I'll be keep storing the sequence number of triplets, not by pairs. So here the answer will be the list of triples of sequence number of similar students. Is it clear, people?
Similar students, ma'am, can you please explain this similar student thing? I have a question.
Like number
Look.
of students who has the like in the same table, we are just taking it. That's it.
In question, it is said that 2 students are said to be similar, but here we are getting 3 students.
Oh, yeah, actually, what we are doing is we are just taking two elements, right? Here we have taken X and Y. Then we are taking this X with Z and Y with Z.
Okay, so yeah, what I'm understanding is if X is similar to Y and X is similar to Z, then Y and should be similar to Z, right? Like this, something is happening over here.
Repeat.
Okay, ma'am, I'm also a little bit confused over here with the statement.
Okay, wait. X and Y are compared, and I got to know this is a pair of elements with the mathematics max difference is less than 10. Okay,
Okay.
now I'm taking
Okay.
a one more element Z. So this Z has to be compared with X. This Z has to be compared with Y. So this is a pair and this is a pair. I'm checking with these two students again.
Okay. Okay.
So already I have
Understood.
X and Y. So if this Z satisfies with X and Y, so now I have got a triplet of X, Y, and Z.
Got it. So instead
Everyone?
of yes, ma'am. If so, ma'am, instead of if we don't store it as a list, so we can say that the second option that the pair are similar. That even that statement can be considered if we are not storing it as a list. Just a pair of sequence numbers of.
Pair in the sense of two elements, right? But here we are storing the 3 students, or else it can be a list of list. This can be the possibility.
Okay, list of list. Okay, I got it.
Great. Others, do you have any doubts?
The table movement only I confused actually. Can you that only the table movement only just tell me so how this is happening actually? So I'm confused
Yeah.
about because first table one card is to be taken. So that we trade. Then second then it is moved to table 2. Then then one more card from table 1 and it's moved to table 3. So from table 1 to first card is moved to the table 2 and second card is moved to the table 3, right? From table 1.
Wait. I'll just explain you. Let's say I'm taking only 5 elements here. So 90, 80, 83, 72, and 89. Okay. All these elements are in table 1 now.
Okay.
Fine. So now what I have to do, I have to read the first row from table 1, which means 90 is
90.
red.
Yes.
Now I have to move this to table 2. So in table 2, I am moving this 90 here.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
Now, we have to, so what are the elements are there in table 1 now?
Now
80,
80, 83, 72,
Mm.
89. Four numbers are there.
Correct. So next, what I need to do, I have to read the first row in table 1. So what is the first row in table 1?
80,
That has to be moved to table 3.
3.
So I'm taking one more table here. Let's say this is the table 3, in which I'm storing the
80. So now table 1 removed. Okay. Now 3 only
okay.
available.
Yes. So now absolute max mark of x max mark, we need to find the absolute difference between x max mark and y max mark, which means 90 and 80 difference.
Okay.
So what is the difference here?
10 is different. Absolute is 10.
Yes. So I have to check with this condition. So what is the first element in table 1 now?
Now it is 83.
So we have to read the 83 from the table 1 now, and we have to check for these elements. So this 83 is checked against 90. What is the difference? 7,
7.
which is less than 10.
Less than
So
10,
the
yes.
condition is true.
True.
Then I have to take y and z. That is 80 and 83. What is the difference?
3.
3 is less than 10. Is the condition is true?
Yes.
Yes. So in the triple list, I need to add the sequence. So the sequence values are 1, 2, and 3. Right?
Okay.
So after this step, what I have to do, I have to move the Z2, which means this 83 has to be moved to table 4.
Table 4.
Yeah. Now the
Okay.
table 4 contains 83,
3. Okay.
which means it's not present here. Okay. So after
Okay.
this step, the loop, we have to check whether table 1 has more elements.
Yes. 2 available still.
So what I need to do, I have to read the first element. So what is the first element in table 1?
72.
So 72 has to be read. Okay. So now we have to find the difference of 72 and 90. What is the difference? Is it less than or
18.
equal to?
Is 12. Sorry, 18.
Is it less than or equal to 10?
It's
No.
false. The condition is false.
Okay. If this condition is failed, do we have to check this?
No.
Exactly,
Oh.
because of and. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm just, so the if block will not work. I have to
Okay.
move this Z to table 4, which means the 72 has to be moved to the table
Table
4.
4. Okay.
Then what I need to do, I have to check whether table 1 has more elements.
Table 1 is there still.
One element is there. So I have to
Yes.
read the first row, which means 89 is read.
Okay.
Now I have to check whether the 18, I have to check the absolute difference between 89 and 90. What is the difference?
1 is
1.
true. Less than 10, it's true.
If it is true, I have to check with the next condition, that is,
Mathematics score.
that is 80 has to be checked with 89. So 80 and 89 difference is
9.
9,
Okay.
which is also less than 10. Condition is true. So if the condition is true, I have to add the sequence number in the triple list. That is 1, 2, and 5.
Okay.
Okay, now I have to move the Z to the table 4.
4.
Now, is there any other element in the table 1?
No. Now.
No.
So once this loop is over, what has to be done? Move all the rows from table 4 to table 1.
Okay. So
now,
then table 4 to then 3 elements will come here.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. After this condition is over, we have to check. Is there more elements in table 1? Sorry, not there. Yeah, this if block is over, so I have to move ahead with the next set of elements. That is,
We will have to empty table 3 also, ma'am.
yeah. So 83 will be checked with 90 and 80 again. So we have to move this 83 to this table 3, and we have to do the same process again. Okay, once all the table 3s are emptied, we have to move this whole to a table 1 again.
Hmm.
Is it clear?
No, so all are, now it's again 83 is going to 83. Again,
Hmm.
so already is we compared, right? 83 with the T and
Yeah,
T.
yeah.
Ma'am, can you trace the indentation of this last one, ma'am? After this, move all rows from table 3 to table 1. Which violation getting? Okay.
Because
So,
after taking the table 2, we have to do all this process and we have to move table 3 to table 1. And then this is the end of this.
okay.
So then this 80 will be moved to this table 2 and then 83, it keeps going like that. So I have to take 80, 83 and 72. And then we have to take 83, 72 and 89. It's like that.
Okay. So what I initially thought was from table 3, this 80 will go to first table 1. Then from table 1, we'll put it in table 2. And then again, this 83 will come in table 3.
No, it's not like that.
Okay. I got a
Yeah.
little bit confused with this indentation one.
So finally, if the now the table 2 card, where it will go, madam? After finally,
We are not moving the elements from table 2 to anywhere. It's just table 2. That's it.
so that will be retained in that box only. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, okay, madam. Thank you.
Ma'am, if suppose the second element that we selected was 80, suppose it was less than say 50 or something. It was not less than equals to this 10, it was false. Then in that case, what would it have done?
Which means even this condition is not satisfied. I'll just tell it. If this condition is not satisfied, it will go ahead and take the next element, which means let's say instead of this, let's say 50 is there.
Okay,
Okay. So now 50 and 90 difference is 40, which is not less than 10. So the whole if block will not work.
not
It will
okay.
go and take the next element 83. So it will check yes. So now it has to do the process with the same.
And this 50 will stay in table 1 only.
I didn't get you.
And this 50, the position of this 50 will not change, like with table 2, table 3, or table 4, right? It will stay in table 1 only, right?
No, we are already moving it to table 3, right?
Why to
Table 2, what is holding, madam? Now, so it's a maximum score, right? Table
No,
2.
the first element, whatever the first element we have taken from the list will be in the T2 first. After that, it adds the second element. After that, it adds the third element like that.
Okay.
Let's take example as 80, 90 and 50. Okay, so in that case, what will happen? So it is moved to the table 3 now. After that, we are checking with the difference. It is not satisfied, which means it will stop here, right? Like the if condition is not work, if condition failed in the sense of if block will not work, then I have to go ahead with the next element, nothing but 83, which has to be moved to the table 3. Now the table 3 contains 83 and 52 elements now. Okay, and then we have to check the marks of 90 and 83. So what is the difference we are getting here?
7.
7 is less than or equal to 10. Condition is true. Now I have to take the further more elements, that is 72. So on comparing with 72, 90 and 72, what is the difference?
It's 18.
Of course. So the difference is not less than 10. So this
Correct.
condition will fail, which means what I have to do, I have to move the 72 to table 4. Then I have to take the 89 because there is some more element, right? So this 89 is compared with 90 and 83. What is the difference?
It's 6.
It's 1 and 6, which is of course less than 10. So we have to add the sequence number as 1, 3, and 5. Now this is moved to table 4 then. After this, what has to be done? I have to go ahead with the next element. That is, we have to shift all these 3 to table 1 again, take these elements, and we have to do the same process again. Okay, now 90 is compared with 72. So the difference is,
18.
of course, it's not less than 10. So
No,
the
not
if condition will not work. So this is moved to table
Table
3
three.
now.
Got it. This indentation was I was getting little bit confused with that. I got it, ma'am.
Okay, great. How about everyone? Is this clear, people?
Yes, ma'am. It is clear.
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Yes.
So for the answers you have given, sir. Okay. Okay,
Ma'am,
now
can you
going.
please check
Yes.
for this graded assignment of week 4, ma'am? Last question. A little bit doubt on that.
Okay.
This question. What will
Okay,
the
so
A represent at the end of the execution?
Okay, so first they are taking A, B as zeros, P and Q, P to be true and Q to be false. And we are taking A to be 0 and B to be 0. After that, we are checking what are the elements are there. Like, is there any elements? Yes. So we are taking the first element and we are checking for its part of speech. If it is adverb and P is already true. If both the condition is true, means we are changing the P to false and Q to true.
Yes.
Otherwise, if it is not adverb, let's say if it is noun. So if it is noun, what will happen? It will
That
check
means
with the it will go
increment
to
A.
this else part. In else part, it will check whether not of Q. If it is false, not of false become true. So A is incremented by 1. So if it is not adverb, A gets incremented. And then there is a one more condition. So the else ends here. And there is a one more thing is if it is a full stop, Q was changed to false. So in the next sentence, again it is checking with the not adverb. Okay. So here we are checking not of true means it becomes false.
If statement, what is actually the condition actually? So one condition we can able to understand adverb, but another thing P is already defined, it's set for true. So here the parts of speech is adverb. For example, we took only the adverb card, so it will this condition is true and true and true. So
The condition is true means this Q becomes false and P becomes
no,
P becomes false and
here one more condition adding, no, and the P. What is the meaning? If it is P is false, also it will take.
no. If the P is false means it's like true and false. So
Yes,
true and
true and
false,
false.
what is the value?
False.
False. So that will be if the P is true, it is considered as true. So in AND condition, the same thing.
See, this one true and false is false. How it will, madam? Actually, where it is defined actually.
Here, this is adverb, right? Let's say
Thi-
the part of
this-
speech is
this-
adverb.
Yeah, this one understood. So we took the
And
adverb part.
let's say P is equal to false. P is initialized as false.
Okay.
Which means what is there in P? It's false, right?
Yes.
In case of condition check, we need either it's true or false. No?
No, but this adverb condition validation, I can able to understand. So it's validated. We took the adverb card, then it is true. Then P, what is the validation? Here P it's already defined true only. So what is the checking here? P it's only true. So true and true. That is only the statement is there.
Yes, P true and true.
Yeah.
If it is true and true means the answer is also true. So these two conditions, these two statements will work. That is, we are reinitializing P with false and Q with true.
So meaning is both are true, then it is true. If any one of them true or both of them false, then it will be all three cases it will be false, right? Like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's
ma'am,
nothing but the AND table.
So ma'am, this much I understood. Like the very first adverb, when it will appear, the P will become false and it will then never become true again. This coming to this else part, if not Q, A is getting incremented. Suppose for any sentence we are taking, we are finding the adverbs and we are if it is not an adverb, the condition is not getting satisfied for this line number 5, we are incrementing A. But after the sentence ends, this full stop thing, we are returning P and Q value as the same we have taken initially. But A is not getting returned to as 0, ma'am. A will keep on incrementing even for the next sentence. Are you
Yes.
understand? So, ma'am, so the according to the answer that is given in the options, this third option is correct. Number of word before the first adverb or the full stop in every sentence. This statement, ma'am, is contradicting with this because A is not getting 0 for the new sentence.
But once it reaches the adverb, it becomes false, right? So after that, we are reinitializing until the word ends, until the sentence ends.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. Sentence ends with a full stop and then a new sentence start. But this value of A that we have collected from the previous sentence, it continues to get add up for the next sentence also. So suppose if we have new adverb in the next sentence, so this does not make any sense then in that case.
So you are saying that it shows the overall count instead of every sentence, right?
What I was thinking, like somewhere in this pseudocode, after A is getting incremented, when a sentence ends, it should return A equals to 0 again. For every new sentence, we will have to
Reinitialize the
A to 0 back. That was what I
then-
was thinking.
A.
Because for in the very first sentence, if we get a adverb, so even in the next sentence also, that doesn't make any sense if you find an adverb or not. It will always have an increment. I was going through this ChatGPT, and there also I found this one was a little bit confused in this.
So either it is false or true that the increment of A it will happen.
No, it's not like that. Only if the Q is false, then the A gets incremented, which means
Yes.
either it has to be after the full stop, it has to increment the A again. It should not be an adverb. If it is adverb, it stops, and then when after the full stop, like when the new sentence starts, then it starts to count again. So it has to be like overall, like whatever the
Now
cards are.
maybe you assume. So for example, instead of adverb, we have some verb is there. Card verb. Just little bit down, madam. Little bit down. No. It's miss. Go up. Yeah. Okay. So if we not got the adverb card, assume we have verb card, then the statement is false. Then the P and Q value will be false and true only, right? So then else here already Q. Okay, already Q is false. If it is true.
No. If it is not an adverb, this if condition will not get executed. The Q is already false. So if not of false is true, in that case, we will increment A to 1. And we will do the same thing for each and every word in the sentence. The very first time we find an adverb, the P will become true and the Q will become false. And after that, this if condition, line number 5, it will never get executed because this P becomes false, man. So in that case, this if block will never get executed. So in that case, so what we are doing over here is we are basically finding the very first adverb over here. So ma'am, my doubt over here is once the sentence ends, A has to become 0. Then for the new sentence, we will again start with this whole thing. But in this pseudocode, nowhere this A is getting returned as 0. So this was something like I was a little bit concerned with this pseudocode. Is it correct, or maybe I'm understanding it wrong? Maybe you can cross check, ma'am, because I got it wrong, this answer, ma'am. So
got it. I'll check, ma'am. I'll check
okay,
and
ma'am.
then
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Okay. So I have a notion about this. So I think what happens what Shima was talking about is that if you don't find the parts of speech to not be an adverb, so it will keep on counting the keep on counting the words, but as long as it finds that the parts of speech here is not an adverb, but as soon as it finds that this part of speech is adverb, it stops there. But it doesn't mean that when it stops, so then you initialize back again to zero, a to zero, right?
Yeah,
No,
we are
but
not initializing A to 0.
we are not initializing that. It is not mentioned anywhere in this pseudocode. That is what I said to ma'am.
Yeah.
Before starting any sentence, we will have to take A again 0. So in this pseudocode, nowhere like we are taking A again 0, like which is not returning back 0 again. So for all sentence, like the A will continue to increment. I checked with the
Yes, it's
ChatGPT and Mhm.
it will check across all the elements, like all the words data set, and then it will keep adding which are all not adverb. And let's say if it is with full stop, then again it is reinitialized and it will keep doing it. If it encounters adverb, it will stop and until it encounters a full stop, and after full stop again it starts to check.
Mhm.
So I'll check with this one.
Okay, ma'am. Because the option says that number of word before first adverb or for full stop in every sentence. So it is particularly mentioning that for each sentence, it is this condition is getting checked. But here A is getting incremented for all the sentence. We will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
I
one-
think I also had this issue about the reinitialization of this A. So once I was thinking like if every time this loop checks whether this part of speech thing is correct, it checks for an adverb in every sentence. So after finishing up of every sentence, it should start initializing A to 0.
Reinitializing of A
Yeah.
should happen.
Yeah.
I'll check with the team.
Okay, ma'am. Can we expect any marks extra for this? If the
I'll
question is.
check and then I'll revert back.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, these are the activity questions. Let's discuss this now. So the two subsets of a data set cannot have any elements in common. Is it true or false? So let's say we are taking two subsets of the same data set. So it is saying that they cannot have any elements in common. Is there a possibility like that?
False.
Yeah, why it is false?
If it is same data set, there is a possibility that there will be some common elements.
Yeah, because we are taking a data set, it's not that it has to be completely different. There can be a common elements also. Like if we take a city, there can be a possibility that two people can belong to a same city also. Or two people can have a same scores as well. It's like that. So there can be a possibility for common and may not be as well. Okay, so here the answer is false. And here comes the next question. So we have to consider the paragraph words data set and we have to execute the two procedures. The procedure one is we have to arrange all cards in the ascending order of the serial numbers and iterate through the cards, and we have to filter the nouns. And again, storing all the elements in X. Why? Like we are arranging all the cards in the descending order of the serial number and we are iterating it through the cards, and then we are finding the nouns in that. We are storing all the elements in the Y. So what these two lists say about like X and Y? What can be the option? So either the number of the elements and their orders in the list X and Y will be same or can be different, or both are same, the elements are same and the order is different, or it cannot be determined.
It will be same only.
The elements is same
Yeah.
or
Order will be
is
different.
also.
Order will be different.
Yes, why so?
Because like I was checking, post we are adding from we are adding list from back, right? Can you take example, ma'am? Right, I'm not able to.
Okay, let's say here I'm arranging the cards in ascending order of the card number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, out of which third card is now and Fifth card is noun. Okay. So now I have to arrange the cards in the descending order, which means 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 card numbers. So again, I'm iterating through the cards and the same. This is a noun and this is also a noun. Okay. So in the X, I'll store 3 and 5, and here I'll store 5 and 3. So both are nouns, right? Let's say the noun words I'm taking. So both the elements, I mean, like whatever the word in the third and whatever the word in the 5, that is the same, right?
Yes.
Let's say I'm taking the noun 1 data. So here 3 is data. And next is card. So card comma data comma card. If both are same, if both the elements are same,
No, the orders
No,
are different.
No,
So the
order.
order matters.
In the
Yeah, that-
index matters.
yeah, elements in the list are same, right? Here also card and data, and here also data and card. So the elements are same, only the order differs.
Order differs.
So
the
the
order
answer can be options. Yeah. So the thing is, answer can be the elements in X and Y are same, but the order will be of different. Okay.
Yes.
And here comes the next question. So X belongs to the Chennai people and Y belongs to the like Y is the student who belongs to Madurai. So length of S means like number of elements. Okay. So is there are more students from Chennai than Madurai? Then which of the following is true? X contains a list of students who are from Chennai. And Y contains a list of students who are from Madurai. And they have given a condition that number of students from Chennai is more than the Madurai. So which of the following conditions are true?
If the procedure is starting with length, ma'am, we will have to take length only. So it includes.
Yes. So it's like length of X and length of Y is taken, right?
Correct.
Okay.
The
So which
C
is
option.
greater?
C option is correct.
Because the length of X, which means the number of students in Chennai. Number of students is contained in the length, right? So this can be the answer. Length of X is greater than the length of Y. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes.
Okay. And here comes the next question. So let's the two list and we are finding the intersection. Intersection in the sense of finding the common elements in the two list. So what would be the procedure will written? That is, let's say X contains the element of all the elements. So let's say the city. So in X also there is people from Chennai and Y also there is a people from Chennai. So I have to find the common elements in two sets. So what can be the data type it will return?
List.
List. Yeah.
Why it is list?
Because the X and Y both are lists. So if you take the sets, the intersection of two sets should be a list, right?
No. It's not a set. It's a list. In set data type, we can do an intersection. I'm not sure about list, ma'am. Whether it will
Yeah,
give
I
a
So in case of list also, we can use two loopings, right? So one loop is
Yeah,
to
yeah.
take the first element and the other loop is to take the remaining elements. And we are checking all the elements. Of course, we'll get the intersection values. So it's not that only one value has to be the common, right? There can be a multiple values.
Ma'am, the operations on the thing that we perform on sets like intersection, unions, subtraction, can we perform on list also like that?
By using a looping.
Looping, okay. We'll have to
if-
design a code for that. Correct.
Yeah. We have to write a procedure for that.
Madam, what is
Yes.
Boolean actually? What is Boolean?
True, false.
Boolean means true or false.
Okay,
Integer means 1, 2, 3, like
that I understood. But so
numbers.
Boolean is true or false. Okay.
Here we are not going to check whether there is an intersection elements or not. Here we are finding the intersection elements. We have to find the common element. Okay.
Yes.
Is it clear, people?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, and here is the next question. I have just moved down. Okay. So what is the advantage of bookmarking the filtered cards in the data set?
The data can be accessed without disturbing the order.
Okay. Only one?
Second also it's okay. Without disturbing.
Yeah, I think we can find a particular card without iterating over them because we have already
Mhm.
marked the card, right?
It's already
Yes, correct.
one iteration is completed.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can
By
simply-
that way, we can be able to access the particular code also. So both the answers are correct. Like option A and B are correct. Yes, all the answers are correct. Okay. So, do you have any doubt in this activity one question, people?
No, man.
Okay, then going ahead with activity 2. And before that, people, do you want me to pause for a few minutes to understand what are the topics that we have discussed so far, or can I proceed further?
Okay, ma'am, we can summarize things. Maybe it will be beneficial for this.
No, do you want some time to understand, or can I proceed further? People, please do respond.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm asking that, do you want 2 minutes of time to understand the questions that we have discussed? That is nothing but the practice questions and then activity 5.1. Do you want time to understand that, or shall I proceed further with the activity questions?
So you can proceed, madam. So maybe on the go we also see.
Okay. That's right. So the next
No,
question
ma'am.
is what we
Can take a time in 2 minutes to understand.
Okay, so I'll just give you 2 minutes, people. Just understand this activity question and this practice questions. Then we'll go ahead with the activity 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So the people who have understood, you can just try with activity 5.2. And if you have doubts, you can ask. Okay, I'm just giving only 2 minutes of time for this.
Ma'am, I have a doubt in previous questions that I was solving. Can I send right now? Can you discuss?
Yeah, we can discuss that also. Send it in chat box.
Okay, thank you.
Could you please send it as a link, Monu?
Yeah, which
No, the
this
whole
is
thing you can
JPG
just
form.
No, instead of JPG form, just send it as a link, which means like the question paper link,
Question
the
paper link.
PDF
Okay,
link.
okay.
How can I access your downloaded file? Could you please upload it in Drive, and could you please share me that link?
Okay, ma'am.
Meanwhile, others, have you all go through it? Shall I proceed further now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and here is the next question, people. That is, what will be the value of C at the end of the execution? They have given A as a list and B as a list. That is, it contains 1, 2, 3, 4, and again 1, 2, 3, 4. So C is equal to A plus B. So what does mean by plus people?
We are adding two lists.
Upon the list.
Yes, perfect. We have to append the list into it. Okay. So we have to give it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, the B list elements, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets added to it. So the answer will be option C. Okay, plus means we are appending the list to another list. Okay, and here is the next question. That is, send is equal to I am a sincere. So after executing one of the statements, it become like send is equal to I am a sincere student.
Ma'am, I send in drive. Can you see right now?
Yeah, it's so loading actually. In this, which one? QP4, right?
Yeah, last
Which question it is? First.
question number 4.
Okay. Okay, we'll discuss this, and after completing this activity 2, we'll discuss that. Okay, it contains only 5 questions here. Okay, yes,
Okay.
people tell me. So after executing which of the statement it becomes I am a sincere student?
Second option.
Why it is second option?
Because anything that gets appended to list, it has to be added with 2 plus sign.
Yes. I have to either give option A or option B. So it's like student send plus student. Actually, it's a list, right? So I am trying to give it like a list only to add it to now. Okay. And here is the next question, people. That is, what does the L represent? So first they are taking the elements from the row. If the max is equal to the physics mark, then they are adding the chemistry mark to it. So which of the following options can be correct?
It stores all chemistry marks of a student who scored same marks in physics and chemistry and maths.
Option number?
C.
Yes, because it stores the chemistry mark of the students who has secured same mark in maths and physics. Okay, it shows, this option shows the names of all students. No, we are storing the chemistry mark. And not of all the students, only the marks of physics and maths the same, then we are storing the chemistry mark. So the answer is option C. And here is the next question. So L1 is equal to 13, 35, 67, 89, and 94. And L2 is an empty list in which they're taking all the elements from the X1 and they're trying to add it to L2. So what can be the answer?
D. We are reversing the list in this condition.
Yeah. Actually, what will happen in this case is first we are taking L3, which has what is L2 is initially empty. So now this the 13 becomes the L2. So in L2, first I'm adding the element 13. Then I have to extract the next element, nothing but 35, which has to be added before the previous L2, which means now the L2 becomes 35 and 13. Then we have to extract the next element, that is 67, which has to be added before the L2. So in the third step, L2 becomes 67, 35, and 13. And next is, I have to take the next element from L1, that is 89. So 89 is added before this. So now the L2 is 89, 67, 35, and 13. It's nothing but we are trying to add the elements in the reverse order. So after taking the third element, L2 becomes 94, 89, 67, 35, and 30. So the answer is option D. Is it clear, people?
So when adding, it will from left side we are adding, right? So
Because can you see this line? So what is
yeah,
given in
so
this? We are just adding the x plus L2. So we have to add the current element before the list 2.
before the list two. Okay, okay.
That's why it is adding it in the reversal order. Let's say instead of this line, if the line is L2
So
is equal to L2 plus x. Now what would be the answer?
then the same will be there, right? 13, 35, 67, like that.
That will
Yes,
become
option
L1.
A would be
Yeah.
the answer because we are
Yes.
adding it at the end. So whatever the
Okay.
elements we are extracting, we are adding at the end means we'll get the same order. If you are adding
So,
before, we are getting it in the reverse order.
so you're adding position is matters. Okay.
Yes. And here is the next question. So A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they are initializing the index A with 0. And C is an empty list. And then they're taking one element from A, which means x is equal to 1. So index B is initially 0. So for each y in B, which means y is equal to 1 now. We have to check whether index A is equal to index B. Is both the indexes are same?
Yeah, true.
If the condition is true, what I have to do? I have to
Z.
initialize z is equal to x plus y. 1 plus 1 is
2.
2. Then what they are doing, they in the C list, they are updating the 2 now. Okay.
Yeah.
Now B is incremented to 1. Now is the index is same?
No, false.
So this is false. So of course it has to increment to the 2. Is the index the same?
No,
Again, I have to increment to next element 3. Is the index the same?
no,
Then it becomes 4. Then is the index the same?
no.
After this, can I be able to proceed further?
We can increase. Okay, no, it's fine.
Okay, so
done.
after this, there is no element there. So this loop is done.
Zero.
Okay, so what I have to do then? Once the loop is
Increment.
over, again I have to reinitialize the index B to 0. Sorry. After this loop is over, it ends
This
here,
index
right?
A will be incremented now.
Yeah,
Now.
index A will be incremented to 1. Then
Again,
I have
for
to,
each.
now the B x value is 2
2.
and index of B is 0 and y is 1. Is both the index are same?
No,
So B has to be incremented to 1. Is both the index are same?
no.
Huh?
No.
Yes.
No.
क्या कर
Is
रहा है?
both,
लगा क्यों रहा?
here both the index are same, right?
Yes, okay. You're right.
Because we are taking the next element, nothing but 2. So on
correct.
taking the next element, both the index are same. So what I have to do, I have to add x plus y. Nothing but 2 plus 2 is 4.
4.
So this has to be added into the C list. Okay. Then what I have to do?
Again, we'll
I
check
have
for
to,
other.
yeah, I have to increment the next index, nothing but 2. And I have to check whether both the index are same. No. Then it will be incremented to 3. Like this way, it will keep checking all the elements. Then, of course, for all the other elements, the index is not going to be same. Then the index is incremented, A index is incremented to 2. And what is the x value now? 3. Now, index of B is initialized to 0. And what is the y value now? 1. Is 0 is equal to 2?
False.
No. So I have to go ahead with the next element. So the element is 2. Is 1 equal to 2?
No.
Then I have to increment to next element 2. So is 2 is equal to 2?
Yes, correct.
So I have to add these two elements. That is 3 plus 3, I'll get it as 6. So of course, for next index 3 and 3 will get the same answer, right?
Yeah.
Which means 4 and 4, I'll add it as 8.
8.
Then 5 and 5, I'll get it as 10. So the answer will be 2, 4,
First.
6, 8, and 10. First option. Is this thing is clear to you all?
Yes.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Now proceeding with this fourth question. We have to execute the following using a library dataset. Okay. So they are taking two values, a equal to 0 and count is initialized as 0. So every time when they are picking up a card, they are incrementing the count value. So when the author is not Kalam and the language should not be a English, then they are incrementing the a value, which means author should not be Kalam and language should not be English. So if both the conditions are true, then A is incremented. For every card, we are incrementing the count. So at last, they are taking A is equal to count minus A, which means all the card, overall card minus A
Cards.
is the number of cards with which are not equal to Kalam and English. Which means A represents the book author is Kalam and the book is English. Number of that is calculated, right? Yeah. Number of books that are written by Kalam in English. Kalam, but not in English.
No, it's correct. No. Number of books written by Kalam or in English or both.
It can be both also.
Yeah, correct. It can be written by Kalam in English. It is also
Yes,
correct.
yes. That is also the possibility, or it can be Kalam and he has written in like some other language is also possible.
Possible, yes.
So we are just calculating that. Is this question clear now? No.
Here that they told the author is not equal to Kalam, right? So then I have the answer how it will come Kalam again.
Because they are subtracting count minus A. A is getting subtracted here.
So the A count will be is not equal, is not in Kalam. So if you
Yes.
subtracted here, so Kalam will come. Okay, understood. Okay, understood.
Yeah, okay. Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so now going ahead with the activity 3 questions. Okay, so they have mentioned that MPC are the
Ma'am, can you
top
discuss now?
Which one?
Yeah, question number 12. PYQ. I send link.
Okay. Question number 8. Yeah. So what would be the value of S at the end of the execution if the value is 1024? Okay. So they have given that n is equal to 1024 and we have to check whether this 1024 is greater than 0. Yes, if the condition is true, what has to be done? We have to reinitialize R is equal to n mod 10. What is n value?
1024.
What is the, okay, if I take modulo 10, what will be the answer?
4.
Yes. So the R value is 4. And what is the S?
S equals to S. 102 from.
Yes, initially the S value is 0
Yeah, S is
and now 0 plus 4, I'll get it as 4. Okay, I'll just write it stepwise itself. 1024
Can you please,
mod
ma'am,
10.
can you zoom it, ma'am? I'm not able to see what is the 10 in it.
Okay,
Is it possible? Yeah, okay, okay. Sure.
fine.
Thank you.
So S is equal to 0 plus 4, which is nothing but 4. So now what we are doing, now n is reinitialized as n divided by 10, which means I have to give 1024 divided by 10. What is the value?
102.4.
10.
Yes, 102 will be the answer.
102.
So now this block is over. Again, I have to do is 102 is greater than 0. Is the condition is true?
Yes, true.
Okay, now what is the R value? 102 mod 10, which means
2. 2.
yes, I'll get the value as 2 here. Sorry, here it is 2. Then what about S? S is equal to, what is the previously updated S value? 4.
4.
So 4 plus 2, I'll get it as 6.
6.
Okay, so now what is the N value now? That is 102
10. Correct, 10.
divided by 10. I'll get it as 10 exactly.
Yeah.
So again, I have to check it as 10 is greater than 0.
That's true.
Now R is equal to
1.
10
No,
mod
R will
10.
is
What is
0,
10
0.
mod 10? Yeah,
0.
0. What is S value?
6.
Previously it is 6. 6 plus 0, I'll get it as 6. Okay, after this, what
Yes.
has to be done? I have to reinitialize N is equal to
10
10 divided by 10. What is the value here?
equal 1.
1. So after that, I have to check whether 1 is greater than 0.
That's true.
So R is equal to
1.
1 mod 10. What is 1 mod 10?
1.
Yeah, I'll get it as 1. And then S is equal to, what is the previously updated S value?
6.
6 plus 1. I'll
7.
get it as 7. So what is the N value here? 1 divided by 10, I'll get it as 0. So after this, is 0 greater than 0?
False.
Yeah, so the condition fails. So what is the S value so far?
S is 7. R is 1.
Yeah, so S is 7 and R is 1. So that is the answer here as well. Nothing but sum of digits.
Okay.
Is
Ma'am,
this
can
clear?
you repeat last part?
Which step?
Yeah, last step. You are saying that n equals to 0.
Yes, because it's like 1 divided by 10. What is 1 divided by 10? It's 0, right?
0.1.
Anyway, it's 0, right? Because they said if it is
Yeah,
of double division means I just want only the quotient.
yeah. Okay. Then this is
This
So 0.
parallel is a floor function. It
Yeah.
always takes the least integer.
Yes.
Ma'am, question
Not with the
number
decimal
30.
value. 1, 3?
Yeah, 1, 3.
Okay. Yeah, the next question. So here they have mentioned let the value of x be aeroplane. So what will be the value of A at the end of the execution? So first we need the letter count. 9 letters are there, right? 4 plus 4 plus 1. Yeah. So here the letter count is 9. And A is initialized with 1. I is initialized with 1. So we have to check whether 1 is less than 9.
True.
Yes. So what I need to do, I have to check whether the ith letter of X is a vowel or not. Is
Yes,
A
it
is
is.
a vowel?
Yes.
So A is equal to A into 2, which is nothing but A equal to 2.
Okay.
Okay. Then I have to go ahead with the next letter, that is E. Is E is a vowel?
Yeah. No, we'll have to increment I also first, and we'll do.
Yes. So that's why it becomes 2 is less than 9. Condition is true. We have to check
Yes.
whether 2 is a vowel.
Yes, 2 is also a vowel.
So what we have to do? A is equal to previous A value is 2. So I have to write 2 into 2 is 4.
4.
Now I is incremented to 3. If 3 is less than 9,
Yes, correct.
yes, the condition is true. So is R is a vowel?
No.
Okay, so we
No.
no need. So if condition fails, so if loop will not execute, then I is incremented to 4. Is 4 is less than 9?
Yes, true.
Yes.
Is O is a vowel?
Yes.
Yes.
So A's previous value is 4. So 4 into 2 is, I'll get it as 8.
8.
Okay, then I have to increment the I value to 5. Is 5 is less than 9?
True.
The condition is true. So I have to check whether this P is a vowel.
No, P is not.
Okay, then I is incremented to 6. Is 6 is less than 9? Yes. I
Yes.
have to check with the L. Is
L.
L is a vowel?
No, L is not.
Then I have to increment to 7. 7 is less than 9. Condition is true. Is A is a vowel?
Yes, A is a
So what is the previously A value?
8.
So 8 into 2 is
6.
16. Now I is incremented to 8. Is 8 is less than 9? Yes.
True.
So I have to check whether the N is a vowel.
No, N is not a vowel.
Mm.
Next, I have to increment to 9. 9 is less than 9? No,
False.
but 9 is equal to 9 because here the condition is less than or equal to.
Yes.
So I have to give a condition check as less than or equal to only.
Hmm.
Okay, so now the condition is true. So E is a vowel.
Yes.
So 16 into 2, I'll get it as 32.
32.
So here the answer would be 32. See, that is the answer as well. Is this clear, people?
Yeah, ma'am, clear. Only last questions. Question number
Yeah.
4.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Question, okay. What question
Question
it is?
number
Question
4.
4. Yeah, this question, right? This just now.
Yeah, how both are coming? I have a doubt.
So that is a possibility. The person cannot be, if the person is a Kalam, but he has written a language. He has written a language in Tamil as well, let's say. Okay, so what will happen? It will check with Kalam. Yes, but when we are checking with the language is Tamil, it's not working, right? So the count will not be incremented. So for as I mentioned earlier, the author should not be equal to Kalam, which means when we are subtracting, the A can be a Kalam, right?
Mm.
Similarly, let's say I'm checking with English. So here it has to be an English. Either one condition can be true or it can be a both also. Able to understand? Because count contains all the elements, because whatever the card we are reading, the count is incremented. Is that clear, ma'am?
Yeah, that's ma'am.
Okay.
So we are subtracting the whole count from the conditions.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any other question that you people have doubt?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Now we'll complete this activity 3 as well, people. So here they have said that M, P, and C are the list of people, the number of list of students who has scored top 3 scores in maths, physics, and chemistry. Okay, so X is equal to length of maths, Y is equal to length of that physics list, and Z is equal to the length of C. Now what they said is we have to find the top 3 scorers in both maths and physics. So how many comparison has to be done? So let's say X contains 3 elements and Y contains 3 elements. So how many comparisons are done? This 1 is compared with 1. 1 is compared with 2. 1 is compared with 3. Similarly, 2 with 1, 2 with 2, 2 with 3. Same goes with 3 as well, right? So how many comparisons are made?
9,
Which means
X into Y.
3 into 3.
nothing but X into Y, because X is the length of M and Y is the length of P. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So the answer can be X into Y. And here, assume that we obtain the list K, which contains the top scorers in maths and physics. Okay, now we have a K list which contains only top 3 scorers of maths and physics. Now we have a C list. So we have to find the comparison of K and C. K's length is L. So how many comparisons are made?
What is the length of C, ma'am?
It's Z.
Okay, so
So it will be like
A,
L into Z.
L, correct.
Okay, and here comes the next question. We have to consider the scores data set. And here are the list of scores. So we have to check the sequence, which among the top 3 in any 2 subjects. Let's say if I'm taking 14, I have to check whether the same person has scored in the other subject or not. Okay, so you can just take the same sequences as well. Like I'll just take this X compared with Y, and X and Y comparison has to be done with chemistry also. You can just do that way. So which of the options can be correct? Which is the order? So let's say I'm comparing the maths and physics first. So is 14 is here?
Hmm.
No. Is 11 is here? Yes.
11, so
Yeah. Then 23?
yes,
Yes.
23.
Yes. Okay. Then what are the elements are there?
No, I don't.
And
No.
23. Okay, 23 is compared already. Is 7 is here? No. Is 9 is here? No. Is 18 is anywhere? Yeah, 18 is there. And then
Also
we have to
10.
check. 5, no. Yeah, there is a 14 and here also there is
14
a
is
14,
also
right?
correct.
Okay, so 14 is also there. Then 11 is already checked, 18 is already checked. Yeah, that's it. So there has to be 4 elements. That is 11, 23, 14 and 18, which is nothing but this option.
The comparison can be in any order, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
But these are the set of elements, right? That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
The last question you explained, could you please explain again, please?
Yeah, sure. Which is nothing but we are checking what are the elements are common in
These are marks or sequence numbers. These are sequence numbers, right?
sequence numbers of the top 3 elements for top 3 students.
Okay. Okay.
So we have to check the list of sequence numbers which are like following the top 3. Like there has to be top 3 in any 2 subjects.
Okay.
There is some common element in it.
Yeah, we have to find the common element. That is the intersection elements.
We need to subjects. So first mathematics and physics with comparing 11.
You can compare in any order also.
Okay. So 11 only is there. 11 and
Yeah,
23.
Mm-mm.
Then physics
So 11 is common,
and
23 is common, 14 is common, 18 is common.
what are the common items between the 2 subjects?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, any doubts so far, people?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so this contains only one question. So there is list 1, list 2, list 3, and list 4. Okay, so it can be a non-empty list. So what I need to do is I have to just find the common elements in all the 4 lists. On comparing all the 4 elements, I have to check. Okay, select the correct code fragment. So first let's check with this intersection. So what they are doing, they're taking the one element from list 1 and the one element from list 2. They keep checking. If there is a match, adding it to C list. So C list contain the common elements. Okay. So now which are the options are correct? So let's take 1, 2. So it is the intersection of 1 and 2. And 34 means intersection of 3 and 4. So here in list 1 and 2 will get some intersection elements. And here 3 and 4 will get some intersection elements. So now these has to be intersection. Like we have to find the intersection with 1, 2, and 3, 4. So whether this can be right or wrong.
Can you show the pseudocode now?
Oh, sorry, 1 minute. Pseudocode is nothing but they are finding the common element. That's it.
So the last one also possible.
Yes.
List 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also possible. Because here list 1, 2, we are comparing list 1 and list 2. In list 3, 4, we are comparing list 2 and list 4.
List 4, yes. Yeah,
Then-
yeah. And
Then
here
the
what
list
is
1, 2 and 1, 3 also the intersection is possible.
yes. So anyway, this contains a list, this contains a list. Now we are finding the intersection of these 2 lists. So will this answer be right?
Yes.
Okay, so this can be the correct answer. Now comparing this, 1 and 3 is taken, 2 and 4 is taken. Now they are comparing this 1, 3 and 2, 4. Is this a correct answer?
This is a correct one.
Yes, because anyway we need the consolidation of 4. So comparing 1, 2 or 1, 3, that doesn't matter. Okay. Now taking this, 1, 2 and 2, 3 are taken.
This is also correct.
Is this correct? How about fourth
No,
list?
No, fourth is not there.
4 is not there.
Yes,
last
4
one
is
is
not there.
off.
So this cannot be the answer. And how about this?
The
1,
last one
2,
is correct.
and this 12 and 3 is compared. Then this 1, 2, 3 and 4 are compared.
This is correct.
Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes. So except option 3, all the 3 are correct. That is A, B, and D is correct answer. Okay. Okay. Do you have any doubts so far, people?
No, ma'am.
Mhm.
Now going ahead with activity 5.5. Okay, so here they have mentioned this like length of L returns the number of elements and first of L returns the first element L and rest of L means leaving the first element, what are the elements are there that is given. Okay, so here they have given a procedure. If the length of the list is greater than 2, we have to take the first element and the rest of the elements, like leaving the first one, what are the elements are there that has to be stored in rest list. Now in the rest list they are taking the first element, which means let's say the elements contain 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, now first of list is element 1. Now this is the element 1. This is stored in the rest list. Out of which is the first list? First of rest list?
20.
Yes. Now that is stored in E2. Now they are comparing whether E1 is greater than E2. If this condition is true, they are returning false. Here, whether it is true or false,
Mhm.
the condition is true, so it will return as false, which means the procedure stops. Okay, what if it is like this? That is 50, 40, 30, and 20, and 10.
Ma'am, I have
Now,
one doubt, ma'am.
yes,
False.
And this rest list equals to rest of L. It is like, so won't it be like 10, 20, 30, and 40? 50, last one will be removed.
rest of list means removing the first element.
Okay. First.
Init means it removes the last element.
Acha, acha. Okay, sorry, ma'am, I got confused.
Okay, init removes the last element, rest removes the first element.
Rest
Okay.
removes.
Ma'am, line number 5, can you explain?
Okay, that's what I said. No, rest list. What is stored in rest list? Removing the first
Maybe-
element, all the elements are stored in rest list. Is that thing clear?
Yes.
Okay, now we have to take the first of the list. Which is the first element there? Okay, now take this element.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, it's 20. It's 20,
First
right?
and rest, it's opposite conditions, right?
Okay, so here the first is 50. Okay, last is 10. Rest of means leaving the first element, all the elements are taken other than 50. This is said to be the rest. Is this thing clear?
Just a question, like, why did we append the list? Like, we were doing it in ascending order, right? So now why we are doing it in descending order from 50 to 10?
This is example 1. And this is the example 2.
okay.
Leave this. Okay.
So there is 2 conditions. If first one is true, false,
Ah,
then that's all.
yeah. So now first of list means it gives the 40. Okay, because that is the first of the remaining list. Is this thing clear, people?
Yes.
ma'am.
Great. Now, for this one, like 10 is less than 20. The condition is true. What it returned?
False.
Which means here it has to be in the descending order. That is what it is implying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now let LOI, that is the list of elements, be a list of positive integers. Then when it will be true? When it will return true, ma?
In descending order.
Ending order. ma'am.
Yes. When the elements are in descending order, then it will give me the answer as true. Here, if the L1 is greater than L2, then when it will give the answer as true?
Ascending order.
Yes. Because can you remember this example? 50 and 40. Let's say in this case, let's say the number is like element 1 is greater than element 2, which means 50 is greater than 40. Then it has to return as false, which means it has to be in the ascending order. Is it clear, people?
Mm.
Can you be able to understand this, ma?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, instead of, I'll tell you the second question again. Let's say element 1 is greater than element 2, which means 10 is greater than 20. Is this condition is true?
Mm.
No. So if this condition is not true, will it return false?
No, no.
Oh, of course no. So then it will check with all the elements, still it will return. Still the condition was never true. So at last it will return as true, which means the element is in ascending order. So that's why here the answer is ascending order. Is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
This not in descending order means ascending order. Yeah.
Yeah. If the element 1 is equal to element 2, which means it has to return as false, which means the same element are considered as false, which means what it has to be.
Distinct element.
Exactly, good. Which means it should be a unique element. Is this thing clear?
Yes.
Everyone? Everyone, please do respond, ma. Is it clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now going ahead with the sixth activity, 5.6. Okay, I said no, like, can you remember init in the sense of removing the last element?
Yes.
So far we have seen 4 terms. The first term is first, which means it returns the first element. Last of means it returns the last element. Then we have seen the term is init, which removes the first last element and gives the remaining set of elements. Rest of means removing the first element, it gives the remaining set of elements. Is it clear?
Yes.
Great. Now, until the element is greater than 2, they are taking the last element and the remaining element, in which also they are taking the last value. Which means, let's say the elements are 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. So, this is element 1 and this is element 2. Now, I'm comparing what is given here is 50 is less than 40 means it has to return false. Is this condition is true?
False.
So whether this it will return the value? No.
Yes.
So if it is in the ascending order, it will never be false. Am I right, people?
Correct. Ascending one.
Which means it is in the ascending order. Okay. Is this thing clear? Everyone?
Can you explain one more, ma'am?
Yeah, sure. Let's say here the element is given as, let's take the element as 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Or let's say I'm taking the element as 90, 80, 70, 60, and 50. Okay. Last is this one, right? So this is element 1. Now, init of L is taken. What is meant by init of L? Removing the last element, all the other elements are taken. Now, in which we have to take the last element. Which is the last element here?
60.
Yes. Now, this is element 2. We have to check whether 50 is less than 60. Is this condition is true?
True.
If this is true, it has to return as false. Am I right?
Yes.
So the whole condition has to stop. So if it is in the descending order, it will return as false. If it is in ascending order,
It will return true.
exactly. So that's why here it will true only if the elements are in the ascending order. Is this thing clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now here is the next question. So explode of W is given. So the value is given as thinking. We have to consider this procedure and we have to check whether when this palindrome will return true. Okay, so let's take this word as thinking. Okay, it will check whether length is not equal to 2. Sorry, length is greater than or equal to 2. Yes. So what it has to occur here, it will check first of L, which means T is element 1 and G is element 2. Is both are not equal? Is both are not equal?
Yeah, it would return false.
Yes, it will return the value as false. When it will return true then?
If both are equal, then
Yes. So
If-
let's say, okay, now M and M are same. So it has to go ahead with the remaining elements. That is A and A are checked, L and L are checked, AA checked. So the loop stops. Okay, so in this case, it will return as true. So when it will return as true? When the word is a palindrome. Is it?
Yes.
So
Okay.
if the value is, if the W is palindrome, then it will return as true. Otherwise, it will return as false. And here is the next question. So here they have given check the procedure for thinking. For thinking, what we have got as the answer?
False.
We have got true or false.
False.
Okay. So we have to check here. That is, what is the first element? T. T is equal to G. Is it? No. If it is not equal, what it has to do, it has to go ahead with the next element. H and N. Is both are equal?
No.
No. Then I and I. Is both are equal?
No.
Huh?
No. Okay, both are equal, ma'am.
Actually, it is equal, right? So what it has to do?
It will return true.
That's written true.
Yeah, because when it is not equal, we didn't give a return false. Only at the ending, we have given a false, which means it should contain only the unique characters. Then only it will return as false. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So here we have got I and I, both are same. So it will return as true. So the answer for this is true.
Means any letter. Means any letter is same, then returns.
Yeah, because what we are doing is we are just taking T, H, I, N, K, I, N, and G. Okay, so this is element 1 and this is element 2. Now both are checked. Is it equal? No. So the if didn't work. So what we are doing? Rest of L. What is rest of L?
In it rest of L, ma'am. First and last is removed.
Yeah. First, a rest of L means H to G is taken, in which unit is done, which means G is removed. So these will be taken. Is this line clear?
Yes, ma'am.
First, we have to do the rest and then in which we are doing init. Okay, so now we have got H, I, N, K, I, N. So H and N are taken. Now this is considered as element 1 and element 2. Now tell me, is both are equal?
False.
So if this condition failed, it has to do rest of L. I to N has to be taken. In which also we have to do the init. So N is also not considered. Till I it will consider. Okay. Still the length is greater than 2. So this is considered as E1 and this is considered as E2. Is both are same?
Yeah, true.
So condition is true and it has to return true. So in this space, it will give me the value as true. Is this thing clear now?
Ma'am, like once we get us any like if this statement if gives us true this 7, then we can stop this pseudocode working or we'll have to check for the remaining also.
No, if it is returning means we have to stop the procedure. Whenever you're finding a return, we have to stop that procedure itself. We should not proceed further.
Okay. In this week 5, there was one concept of exit loop also. So how is that
Which
different
means
from this rate?
exit loop means we are stopping the loop. That's it. We are not stopping the procedure. Return means we are stopping the procedure itself.
Okay. Okay.
Procedure is the whole thing. Loop means
Mhm.
only this thing. Exiting the loop means only this loop is stopped. Return means the whole procedure is stopped. I should not proceed with the any other statements in the procedure.
Acha, okay, got it. Thank you.
Madam, this row 2, the last question, last you explained the question.
Second question.
That L equal to exclude, I don't understand. What is actually this L equal to exclude W? Row 2. Yeah, this question.
In the L, we are just adding the characters because explode of W means returns a list of character of word in a same order as they are in the word. Instead of giving it like a thinking, they're just giving it like this. Like a character by character, they are just giving in the list.
Okay, they are
It's not a
exploding as
string.
individual elements. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Individual elements. Then they are out.
Yes.
Then
So now
it is
it's a
out-
list. So in the
putting the
list, we can be
total-
able to do the.
total elements. And
Huh. Now that is considered as a list, and in the list we can do first of, last of, init, and all the other methods and all.
And the last one is, what is that? Palindromes. What is palindrome? First process palindrome. Then you
This one? Are you
Yeah.
talking about second or
One
third
is
question?
palindrome.
Yes,
Yeah,
actually what?
the same question only. Same question only. So
Okay,
the
okay.
12th
So
12th
here,
12th row, what is
uh,
that?
yeah, actually what we are trying to do is when this is
And-
palindrome of method will return as true is the question. Which means if it is a palindrome, which means, you know palindrome, right? This is a palindrome. First and last are same, and the middle one is a common one.
Yes,
Okay, or else, yeah,
first
when
and-
I'm reading from first to last and last to first, both has to be the same word. Then it is set as a, you can take race car.
Okay, understood.
Okay, so race car, when I'm reading it like this, RACECAR. Same with like this way also, race car. So this is said to be a palindrome. When I'm reading from right to left or left to right, it has to be the same.
Okay, understood.
Okay, any doubts so far, people?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you have no doubts, we can end the session. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.